All right, guys, we're back again with another great episode of PFREI. And today I got my man, Phil Green. This is going to be a good interview. I kind of look up to Phil, actually. He don't know, so I'm just disclosing on the show. I learned a lot from him. We in the same mastermind. And just his strategies that he used, the processes. I'm like, wow, I got to get with this guy. I got to fly to his office. I got to spend some time with him. So this is going to be a learning experience for me also. So welcome to the show, Phil. This is our podcast, A Passion for Real Estate Investing. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. I'm just going to read your bio real quick, so let the people know who you are. Phil Green he's finished his MBA in real estate and finance at San Diego University. Phil was awarded top performing realtor with Homestart Realty West in 2015. He's currently a broker associate and a realtor with Big Block Realty, the fifth largest real estate brokerage in San Diego. Phil is currently ranked the number 1% of realtors in San Diego County. Phil also recently was featured on HGTV House Hunters with several of his clients and has become one of the highest ranking episodes of the year. And Phil is he's the currently managing partner at Green Group Real Estate. So welcome to the show. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So the first question I always ask the guest, Phil, is why are you passionate for real estate investing?
I think I'm passionate because of the opportunity of how it changes lives. So I guess I need to dig a little into that. What it did for me and both my brothers who have now joined me, and the freedom that we've got. And I think we have 22 employees in our primary flipping business. We have 40 something agents in our brokerage and a couple other smaller businesses. I mean, each one of those individuals have a better life. They have great opportunities to buy property. We help every one of our employees buy one property a year under market value as part of our retirement plan. And just the quality of the homes we produce, they raise the values of the markets we're in. We just flipped a home on our block, actually where I live, and we got 100,000 over asking right now with COVID in the jumbo market. I would have never guessed this. We got lucky, 15 plus offers. And I literally had 10 of my neighbors walk over, ring our doorbell, and just say, thank you for raising the value of our homes. So I think investors do a lot more than just, flip a house, make it pretty, like it shows on these shows. They do change lives, and they impact a lot of people's lives, and they raise the quality of communities. And that's really part of our mission, and that's what we shoot for.
That's
I think
deep, man.
that's the biggest thing for me.
That's deep. That's deep. And one thing I heard you say, which really I was impressed by, where you said your staff and your team, will get a property a year or get a property under their belt if they're working with you. And that's really, to go towards the retirement, that's really big to really help your team have that same investment vision and then make it a reality, because that kind of have them in the same mindset you're in, and they can benefit from what they're doing. It's not just, hey, you work for me, this is what you have to do, these are the processes, do it, I'm paying you. I'm going to show you how to build wealth while you're working with me. And I think that's important, man. So, and I'm pretty sure you have people who has been with you for a long time just because of that one thing right there,
True. We have superstars. A lot of these guys are smart enough and skilled enough to go off on their own, but we pay them well enough. We put together a retirement plan where they can get 10 properties a year, and if at that point they don't want to work anymore, they don't have to, but they're going to continue to because they love what they're doing and they're having a great time, and they've almost become like family to us. We hang out on a personal level. We help them on a personal level. We help them diversify their investments. We've built such a strong relationship with our employees, they become friends. Obviously I'm the same, and they have to perform. They have to give us results, and they have to do a great job. And they do, because they love what they do and they work hard, and we have a great time at work. But we've created a system where it feels more like a group of friends, a family, than it does a work environment. And I think that's the key to success, because people are happy. People work super hard for your company, and they really look out for you from like an owner's perspective. And I think that's been the key to our success, is just always taking care of the people that work for us.
Yeah, that's
They'll
solid,
take
man.
care of you.
That's solid. I know a lot of companies struggle with that, and even myself starting off struggle with that. It's tough because not everybody have that same drive and that same ambition to want to own something. Some people are fearful of that. So it's good that you are attracting those superstars that want to be, in the same in the same direction and have the same mindset. That way the company will grow and they will grow, right? Let's talk about, how long actually have you been invested in real estate? Because I know that you got an MBA in real estate. You said your family, your brothers are now, you guys are a team. How long have you been invested in real estate?
So I finished my MBA over at the local college here, San Diego State University, in 2013. Got my broker's license and took off in real estate. I left the corporate world, was managing a big sales team there, and took off for a couple years, 2004. And I did, and it worked really well. And I would say that was early 2015. And then by about 2016, we just blew up and got both my brothers. One of them was working as a financial advisor over at Chase, and the other was a bartender downtown. And they both have joined me since. And we built a pretty good sized company since then. And I think we did 160 or 170 flips last year here in the market. So we're busy. We're still doing probably 5 or 6 right now a month in the lower end market here in San Diego, which to a lot of you seems like a jumbo market, but it's anything under 600,000. We're still getting multiple offers right now, but we've kind of slowed down our approach in the higher end market just because it's difficult to get a loan right now. It's really difficult, and with all the lending restrictions. So business is still working. We're still
It's
doing
tough.
well.
I actually just got a lead today on a property, fair market value, low high end in my market is $635,000 house. I got the lead, said, hey, you can get this house for $400,000. And what I've been doing is I've been taking current value and discounting that at 25% and working my numbers from there. And I'm like,
Wow.
hey, if it works out for you, this is my price. We'll go from there that way, because I don't know where the market is going to be. By the time I rehab it and put it on the market, it's all this doom and gloom talk. Market is going to drop. Another, the real estate market after 3 months, no one knows where it's going to be with all of this, people not paying mortgages. So I just changed my buy box and seeing if I can attract deals, within those parameters. The reason I ask you how long you've been invested in real estate, because right now we're going through what seems to be a recession. And if you started after '08, this is probably was probably not a recession for you because you guys are still crushing it. But to the world, it's 9/11/2008 and 1. The black swan is here, and this is your first, I guess, experience since you've been in the game, market reset or financial crisis, right?
It is, and we're in uncharted territory. I mean, we're definitely expected to get smacked around a few times. We put a lot of money away, a cushion. We haven't laid off any employees yet. I know a lot of people have. We did slash a lot of our expenses and cut down marketing, probably about 50% of where we were, to cushion ourselves for the unexpected. And we expect to get hit. I don't think there's any way to avoid getting hit in a recession, but we don't know what we're going into. So it's going to be new for us. We're definitely going to learn a lot of lessons. I expect to learn some painful lessons, but I think that's the key to growth. We're just going to ride the wave. And along the way, I think we're going to fall off a few times. But we put some money away and we're ready for it. And it's going to be an experience because that's what life's about. So I'm excited. I think there'll be opportunity.
Yeah, that's a weird feeling not to know. You prepare yourself for these things because we've been, talking profit first and having liquidity and making sure everything is right. But we don't know how long it's going to be, or no one expected, this what we're going through, COVID-19. But how have you pivoted to make those adjustments? I heard you saying some things, you cut costs and, you slowed down some of the things you were doing. What are you doing internally? Because I know this has given us all time to really look at what we were doing. We have a slow period to kind of retool and go over some things. How have you pivoted to adjust to the current situation? And, we can't just stop marketing and stop doing, put our head down and say, oh, so how have you pivoted to make these adjustments to thrive when it's all over or through this, to bridge the gap?
That's a really good question. We immediately purchased Zoom, which I think their stock just went out the roof. I mean, every video
Did you see that? Did you know Zoom was going to be it?
Yeah, it just cut out for me for a second, but I think I got you.
I got you. Yeah. Now, did you know Zoom was going to be it?
Anybody did, you would have put thousands into it. It's just unbelievable because I think I'm at 300 a month for 10 of my people to be administrators. But every video we record, we have to buy more data. I mean, we're going to be at $1,000 a month soon with these guys. They're killing it. I can't imagine how much money they're making.
Yeah, yeah,
But what we're doing is, long story short, we've decided to double down. We're working harder than ever. I think we have a clock in where we have like 8 to 10 different Zoom windows open at all times with different groups working together. The cold calling guys get on at 8 a.m. every day, and they don't clock out till like probably 7 p.m. And they're dialing, they're working together, they have follow up, they're hitting their call contact goals, their follow up goals. I mean, we're putting more hours in now than we've ever worked, and we're working harder, and we're trying to capture more business remotely because everyone's at home working from home. Our entire city shut down, and we actually looked at our numbers, and we're signing twice as many deals as we signed pre-COVID. And I think the reason for that is because our guys are working so hard. Someone asked me the other day, like, have you seen this new show on Netflix? I'm like, Netflix? I don't have time to watch Netflix. I'm working 12-hour days if I'm lucky. And on the weekends, I'm studying, I'm reading, I'm
yeah,
trying to figure out anything I can to stay ahead because I know it's coming. And I'm hungry, and so is our entire team. They understand the narrative. We're lucky right now. It's still good in our market, but 6 to 12 months from now, it's probably not going to look like that.
yeah,
When all the stimulus money runs out and the real unemployment rate sets in, it's going to be different. It's going to be a lot tougher, I think, than when a lot of people feel like this recession is like, this isn't '08 yet. It's not tough yet. I'm like, well, let's see what happens in a year. So our team knows how tough it's going to be. So they're working twice as hard now to sign as much business as they can. When the competition, a lot of them, I think, aren't working. A lot of them are just sitting at home. They're like, I can't go get deals. I don't know what to do. We changed that narrative with our team. Go remote, get on Zoom every day, clock in. We're holding them accountable. Each one of them has to make 30 to 50, cash buyer contacts a day. They have to make this many offers. They have to have this many different, calls that are made to generate new business. All these goals are being set and monitored daily, and we're just doing everything digital. Literally from a point where I think we just ordered a software that checks our employees' screens like every couple seconds and sends us a tracking and recording. And we're not enforcing it, but we just let them know we added that on. So now it gives them even more incentive to work harder, because we don't want them to feel like we're micromanaging them, but we just want them to know, hey, you know, we need you to produce results, and they get it. They know they have to. They're concerned too, and they're seeing that a lot of the competition's laying off their people, and they feel very fortunate to be in a group that's working harder and then hasn't laid anyone off yet. So that's kind of
yeah.
where we are.
Yeah, that's an important accountability tool. We've implemented that as well. And if people object to that, it's those people who was going to BS around anyway. I love that software. It's something that you can use even when people are not remote. Just to track performance and see what they're doing. So that's really good. That actually answered the next question I was going to ask you. Actually, how are you guys pivoting? It was like, what are you doing to stay ahead? And you say you're researching on the weekend. You're working longer days. I mean, it's your home with the family, so it's easy to take a break and spend time with the family. It's not like you're running around and everything. So that's the exciting part for me. I get to do what I love and still, walk outside my home office. Hey, get a hug. Yeah, I'm here. Spend time with them, eat some food, and go back to work. And I don't have to leave the house. So it's been cool doing that. I see you have the dumbbells in the background, so
Yeah, I've been
your
working out
workout
a
on
lot.
too.
I still got to work on that.
Yeah, the gyms are closed. Everything is happening. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's pivot a little bit to systems and processes, because I really like the way you set yourself up. And even when we get on the accountability weekly calls, I think was the first one to kind of pivot to the virtual tours. I think I was the first one I heard you say it. I don't know if anyone started it before you, but you jumped in the call, was like, hey, we're doing virtual tours. We can't get inside anymore, so we're locking up deals. We're doing virtual tours to sell stuff. So I guess that's coming with the research you're doing to kind of figure out how you can, dictate the narrative, so to speak, and
Yep.
go from there. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's really working. Matterport is the primary virtual tours we've been using, and it's really a brokerage on top of flipping and property management and a few other businesses. And we looked at the market. On average is taking 26 days to get an offer, sub 600, and we're at 15 days.
Mm.
And I really think it comes from the Matterport and the virtual suite we're creating for buyers. We're also going in ahead. We're giving them a home inspection. We're giving them a contractor bid for anything else they'd want. And we're going above and beyond. We're doing so many inspections that they can literally sit at home, walk through the Matterport, know every single item they want to put on their punch list for a request for repairs and submit it all and have a full idea of what kind of property they're buying, what are the pros and cons, and everything they possibly could want to know and more. We're doing sewer scoping right now too, and literally never visit the home. And we're noticing that a lot of buyers who are very scared or who are, have pre-existing conditions are very interested in our properties because they're like, we can buy the whole house without having to be there. And then we just show up in the middle of escrow, confirm everything and close. And you guys were one of the only groups that allowed us to do this. And that's what we're buying from you. And the agent said, thank you so much for doing this. Do you have any other ones for this client? And we want to work with you. So we're seeing that by adjusting, by helping buyers who are in a more difficult state, who are obviously more susceptible to this virus, we're winning and they're winning. So yeah, that's something we started immediately. And I really think it's working.
That's awesome. What advice can you give sellers in the market who's stuck? Whether whether they're wholesaling deals or whether they have product and it's hard for them to move. A lot of guys spent the whole probably last quarter rehabbing, trying to prepare for spring market. Now the market is slow. They may be sitting on a lot of inventory, trying to liquidate, get liquidity. What tips or advice can you give someone to kind of push forward and get over the hurdle?
Well, I think number one is price your property correctly. We've realized that if we underprice right now, provide a Matterport and a virtual option and all the inspections ahead, we're actually getting multiple offers quite a few times. We had one, which was extreme. This was our best situation where the one on my block where it actually got bid up 100 grand more. But we had another one just last week where it got bid up 25,000 more. I think there was 4 or 5 offers. And it's because we priced it, 5% under the comps. It was the nicest home. Every active buyer in that area saw it and they all wrote an offer. And then a couple of them got inside and loved it and said, we have to have this. And then 2 of them kind of got into a war with each other and bid it up. I mean, these things can actually happen in a recession if you price it right and you do everything right. And it doesn't always end up that way. I mean, there's a couple of them right now that are in the jumbo market that we wouldn't have bought prior to what happened. We just finished the permits and got them on the market, and they're probably going to be a loss for us. And what we're doing? We're just slashing them down to where they sell and just getting rid of them, sucking it up, and moving on. Because not every situation is going to be a win. I think cutting your losses, if you have a situation like that, and then moving on quickly is the best way to go. Because there will be better buys, and we're already seeing them start to pop up in the market. So I think that's the biggest advice for existing properties. Right now, what we're seeing working is 2 situations. One, if you renovate a house up to the minimum standards to pass conventional, whether it's just $5 grand, you fix the heater, paint carpet, that's adding a ton of value because you're getting now the buyers that can pass a 20%, loan or anything like that on the conventional side that are willing to pay a little bit more than a lot of these investors who are scared. And that's where we're seeing the biggest returns, and then wholetailing it. So put 5 to 10 grand into the home, paint carpet, fix, a window or whatever's cracked so it can pass a conventional loan, and then put it on the market as the lowest priced property in the zip code because you got it below market. And that's what's selling to regular buyers. And then what we're seeing on the investment side is call every single buyer that's purchased a home in the last 18 months. And we're seeing the ones that are still interested in buying are the guys that have bought between 0 to 5 homes that maybe buy, 1 or 2 rentals a year, just local in that zip code as a landlord, or they buy as a halfway house or an assisted living home, anything like that, just not your typical fix and flip buyers, but buy and hold guys that buy a couple a year. And those are the buyers that are paying significantly more, and they're still buying because they're like, that's okay, I can put this thing for 10 more years, so I'm not really worried based on where the situation's at. And those are the good buyers we're seeing right now, and they're a lot harder to find. Our guys right now, our disposition team, we switched half of our acquisitions guys over. I think we have 15 agents calling, and they have to make a minimum of 30 contacts a day, 30 cash buyers a day, with the stretch goal up to 50. And that's an 8-hour day of just calling on the dialer. So they're trying to make as many contacts as they can and push them into a property. So go after those buyers that you didn't have to go after a couple months ago. That would be my best advice, because those buyers are still buying. Yeah, there's a lot less of them. You have to work a lot harder to find them. But if you get out there and you call them and you find them, there's still people buying. And I guess you could start, the easiest way to start, if I was just myself out there, I would go look at the MLS. Who bought the last 10, 15, 20 homes in the last 30 days in that zip code? And look and find those buyers and give them a call. Say, hey, would you like another one? I got one below value. I can actually save you money. It's cheaper. And I'd start with those buyers, because there are people still buying. Homes are still selling. And it's find those buyers and get in front of them. That'd be my advice.
That's awesome, man. This is great, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on the show. Got another great episode, PFREI. I'm your host, Fuquan Bilal. Catch us on Twitter, Instagram, and all the other social media platforms. Phil Green, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you, Fuquan.